Mic wasn't turned on. Welcome to the live stream for the edit. Ryer and I talked about this a little bit of going over an edit that we've done previously in Premiere. This one was last spring with Chuck in Kansas. Figured this would be an easy one. This is a fairly easy edit to go over. And if you did see Winter Productions, just noticed that we've got a countdown and a lead-in intro now. We're so fancy, even though I forgot to turn the audio on. So we will get started on kind of going over it. I don't know if some of you have seen this before. Let me fix my mic here. I don't know if some of you have seen this before, but let me see if I can get this. I need to add a audio capture. So I need an audio input capture here, stand by, and I will add this monitor here, iMac Pro. iMac Pro audio, okay. So I don't know, does that sound good or bad? Because I want y'all to be able to hear this audio right here. Can y'all hear both of those? Probably should have tested this before we got started. Y'all let me know in the comments. Can you hear both of them? Don't know if you can or not. Yes, no, no, yes. Or does it sound bad because I can turn one of them down? Anybody? Anybody? All right, I'm going to go with this until somebody tells me different. You're good. Both sound good. Perfect. Okay. All right, here we go. So I'll just kind of go over the little intro, first things first. So this intro, really while we do an intro, is just to kind of tease what's going to happen. And I'll kind of try and go over some of the aspects of the edit. So if you want to see, this is what the final edit looks like. So this is what everything looks like fit into the timeline. This is really one turkey kill with a couple of encounters. And you see all the cuts of this orange or red area right here. This is the intro. So this is standard. We literally copy and paste this every time. And the way that we get into it is with this burn in, which is just this. So you can literally see this burn in. So that's all it is we bring that burn in over, change the opacity, or change the what's it called? We change the blend mode to screen, from normal to screen. That way it just kind of softly intros you. So we'll just kind of go through the intro real quick. And I'm probably not going to go in order of the Ten Commandments, but I'll probably hit on most, if not all of them.
Just left Missouri. We shot 2 birds there. Now we're headed to Kansas. Hunting my buddy Chuck Buckman over at QVO Outfitters. I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the press will be calling. Thumbing and dubbing.
So this thing's running a little slow. So first things first is you see, these first couple shots, literally all they do, which you have text, and the only reason I have text is because you don't know what state we're in, but literally these first 2 shots are just setting the scene. And then as soon as that big beat hits, literally, if you zoom in, you can literally see the beat right there. And that cut hits exactly on that beat. And pretty much every beat after that, with the exception of talking, which to get into how to break in dialogue, that's a whole nother podcast and live thing. But
just left Missouri.
So you'll see,
shot 2 birds there. Now we're headed to Kansas. Hunting my buddy.
And this is just the lower third. See, I can just pull this up. This is the lower third that we had built for Chuck. We literally just dragged this in there on top of the clip.
Chuck Buckman over at QVO Outfitters. I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the press will be calling. Thumbing and dubbing.
And then you go into the intro.
hunting habit is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops, Mossy Oak,
So we'll literally get to the end of the intro.
and Nocturnal Lighted Knocks.
And so the way that you see how that kind of reveals what's behind it. So this is what's called an alpha layer. So this video here, this video, which I brought it up on top so it goes over this next video, has an alpha layer behind it. That's why you don't see any black. That's why it's revealing. So this is when you hear somebody say an alpha layer or a chroma key or something like that. I mean, they're kind of not the right term, but that's what that is. And we just use that to softly intro us into the beginning of what we're doing. So there's a couple of examples of cutting to your music, and then keeping the pace up, and then obviously music is driving that entire first scene. So let's get into the main part. Again, we're using a shot to establish where we are.
We rolled in
So
here.
these establishing shots are so important. And I can use these for transitions, I can use them, and these are sunsets, but I can use them for sunrises, so you don't know the difference.
We rolled in here to chase us the night before a hunt. Put some birds to bed.
So he talks about putting birds to bed, so I've got a shot of him using his glass, which is what we did.
Birds to bed. Now we're hard at it.
So again, right as soon as that music changes, and I try and time that to where it's right at the end of his talking. So when I hit that beat, it's when you see that scene change.
Coming in, yeah.
Same thing, beat, scene change.
Yeah, I just wanna win. Yeah,
That big pop, right there, that click, you can literally see it in the edit. So right there, actually it's one frame off. Good job, Caleb. So I just drag that over. So now it's right there on that beat. You can zoom in and you can literally see the beat right there. I just line that cut up with that beat. All right, now here's another little fundamental basic of editing. See how this clip is overlapping this one? So this, I let Chuck, this talking piece, come in under what we're about to talk about. So that softly intros what we're doing. So always, every chance you get, you'll see that happen a lot. So it would be a different cut if I just butted them up to each other. So I softly intro it. And you'll see, and I'll show you some color correction here in a minute. I'm just going to kind of blow through this.
It got a little weird because all the wind, but they're out there now and then, so we had the right spot.
I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past one since I had to.
This is part for the course. Everybody thinks Rios are stupid. These turkeys decide to go to the field opposite of where we are. Bottoms.
I think I need to make this an output capture. Hold on a second, guys. Yes. Now let's add this. It's an output capture. Okay. Let's make this. Uh-oh. Maybe not. It's not giving me any options. Alright, well I'll add that back. Sorry guys, I'm trying to make this as best I can for you guys. Audio output capture. Display capture. Input capture. I guess that's what it was. Desk mic audio. Okay. Sorry, give me just a second. iMac Pro. Okay. Leave it there. Okay.
Sails away from the ends. You just always going to do the unexpected.
They hate us, don't they, Chase?
You know what that means? It's on to the next one.
Same thing. So right here at the end of this,
You want
see how I end that song? So there's a cut there. Well, that's not the actual end of that song. If I drag this, see that song keeps going. So I just trimmed the end of that song.
you know what that means? It's on to the next one.
So by that song ending, we subconsciously know that we're changing scenes or changing days, changing places, all those things.
Next one. It doesn't take long. Once we get set down, some birds start moving our way.
See how I covered the beginning of that interview up again? See, it's covered here. Instead of coming in here, it's covered up.
It doesn't
So that softly intros the talking.
take long. Once we get set down, some birds start moving our way.
And here's what that color corrected. I don't like this color correction now I'm looking at it, but here's before color correction and after. That's not a huge difference, but let's see what this one looks like. See, these are all color corrected. And here's what I talk about trimming the fat. So you'll see here in a second. So this turkey takes forever to come up here. I'm not going to show him walking for 5 solid minutes trying to get here. So all I did was jump cut, bump in. So this clip is 100%, and this one's 130. So I'll bump in 30%, and I move him closer to us and get him to strutting, which is what I want to see. If I let that clip play out, it's going to take forever. Nobody wants to see that turkey walk for 5 solid minutes. So we skip ahead. We trim that fat out of there and get to the good part. You see how often I cut? See, these are all cuts. Every one of these are cuts. There's never a clip that's held more than probably 4 or 5 seconds.
Just keep coming, big fella. Just keep doing what you're doing. All we need is about 100 more yards.
And see, this is him taking forever, so I just sped it up. And he's walking away, so I just show him walking away.
What? I don't even understand. I don't know why. They're just acting weird today. I don't even know where he's going. I don't know what he's doing. He just left.
Just telling the story of what happened, but this whole encounter took over an hour, and this turkey never would come. But the whole sequence of this encounters, where does it start? Right here. That whole sequence is 2:15 instead of an hour. Nobody's going to watch it for an hour. Nothing happens. Show you what happens, move on.
Is that not just my love?
Explain, and I look at Chuck right here, and I'm like, all right, tell me what just happened.
Is that not just my love? I mean, he was on the screen, chasing this ear, and another one bumped him, and went back the other way, and then went right after him. We're gonna sit here and wait it out.
Nothing. Zero. I suck again.
All right, so we have our music ending, going to the next scene. Literally, that's all we did was end our song.
Again.
Hard cut. Have you seen any fancy edits anywhere in here? No. All of them are hard cuts.
We come around here, that copper we've been watching tonight, trying to make a move on it, just schooled us. Last time I seen him, he was coming around the edge of the wheat in this plowed field. The cool thing about it here is there's not a lot of trees, so, I mean, he's gotta be right here. We're gonna hoot and see if he's right here for in the morning.
So there's a gap between where he starts to hoot and where he ends up talking. Well, I just hard cut to that. I don't stand there and show 20 seconds of him standing there talking to me or say, are you ready, or all that crap. I trim that fat, the stuff that I don't care about. He just said we're gonna hoot, cut to the hoot. There they are gobbling. So it's a long way off, so I had to come in here and bump my audio up so you could hear them. And then I cross dissolve out, so it's back to my shotgun mic.
That hurts.
All right, and here comes an example of a transition shot. It ends a scene, it transitions, it tells me exactly what's going on, it explains everything in one shot.
Sleepless night, because you know what he did today. But that's where turkeys get you, because they never do the same thing twice at the same time. Decision is decision. At least we know where he's at.
So I'll literally just tell Chuck, go get in the truck, drive off, turn around and come get me. That's it. That tells me it ends a scene. I got a drone shot that we shot like 3 days later that I put in there that matches perfectly. In the scene, I've got an establishing shot of the sun coming up, establish where we are. It's a new day. That tells me we're in a new place. It's a new day, and it's the next morning. All in one shot. So obviously nothing's happening. I want you to pay attention. So I don't have any music here, and I don't want music the whole time. You see, there's some gaps in here like this gap here and there's a gap here that there's no music. Well, that's intentional. I want to kind of create an ebb and flow. I don't want it to be the same pace the whole way. I want to speed you up, slow you down. Speed you up, slow you down.
We're on a new farm this morning, and we're back in the birds again. Hopefully they won't do what those did to us yesterday.
All right, so what does this music automatically tell us? Something goofy's about to happen.
Here we go. He's under the fence. This game on. That's not good.
And you can see the interviews. These are all the orange ones. See, I've just kind of got them sprinkled in here. That's what's keeping my pace going. And it allows me to cut out and trim out fat. I can speed the hunt up or I can slow the hunt down. And I've got this second angle to cut to. That's a safety angle. I can use that anytime I want to cut away from something, move the storyline along. So that between the interviews and that second angle, I can now make this hunt as long or as short as I want depending on what happens.
Okay, more strutters. Maybe one of them will come in. Wrong. What's going on with these turkeys?
I don't know what we've done, but we did it. We might have used all of our luck up in Missouri. They're just kicking our butts. But at least we got some good action though. It's 5 longbeards. They just got hands with them, and there ain't nothing you can do with them when they got the live thing. Ain't nothing you can do.
I guess we're about to go old school. Just ride around in the truck, spot a gobbler by himself, and then put a move on him.
So he says we're going to ride around the truck, so I'm showing footage of us riding around the truck. Another example of ending the song, scene changing, setting up our next location.
I guess we're about to go old school. Just ride around in the truck, spot a gobbler by himself, and then put a move on him. I mean, I don't know what else to do with these birds. They're not coming off the limb.
Oh yeah, they're still out here.
We find 2 gobblers out in this wheat field all by themselves. So now it's time to make a move.
If y'all guys have any questions while we're doing this, let me know. Okay, here's another thing. See all this right here? I didn't get this live because this turkey's literally coming and I did not have time to get my camera set up and get Chuck setting the decoy out. So after we killed this turkey, what'd I do? I made him do it again. You'd never known that if I wouldn't have told you. These are all after the fact. All these secondary shots, this second angle, all this is shot after the kill. We only had 1 camera on this kill because we just didn't have time. It was a mad dash. So all this interlacing footage, all this storyline stuff, all the calling, all that's after.
Look at that coming. They're running.
And this turkey has a sixth sense, and it's not the best kill shot, but we got it. You can literally see my B-roll. You can see the cuts right here. So this turkey takes forever coming in. You see these cuts? That's me cutting and trimming the fat. And then I use this cutaway shot to get speed up. So he goes from here in the bushes to there in the bushes. So he scoots way up, but you don't notice the scoot up because I've got a B-roll shot to cover up that edge. If you've ever watched outdoor television, you've been lied to. So just understand that. Another time right here, so he's here, and then he's there. So look at his body change. Well, all I did was cover that B-roll clip up again. Just had Chuck swinging the gun slightly, as if he's following him, and I can move that turkey wherever I want to put him. song ends. And obviously, since this is in high speed, this footage was in high speed or in slow motion, all I did was speed this up. This whole clip was high speed. So if I go up here to the source monitor, see, this is the real-time footage. High speed, high speed, high speed. So I slow it down. Actually, it might not be that one. It might be this one. See how it's in high speed? But this whole time, I'll back this up. See, as he's coming in, see how that's in slow motion? Well, if you really look at this in the edit, it's not in slow motion. I sped it up. See, it's 300% of what it's really at. But when I get the kill shot, I slow it back down, and then I add in the shotgun blast because obviously in high speed I don't have audio, so I have to add in that sound. Now the song changes, it automatically tells me that we were successful. It subconsciously tells me what I want the viewer to know.
This sometimes been kicking our butts. I tell you what, I don't know when the last time I've shot turkeys this close. These last 3 hunts, we've had them in our face. That's nerve-wracking. He boogered at the last minute, but we were just gonna let him do his thing. But when he checked out, he checked out. Nate put us on. I can't wait to put my hands on me. There's some pretty white tips.
So if you look right here, if I enable this clip where you can't see it, look right here.
Checked out. He checked out. Nate put us on. I can't wait to put my hands on.
So I wanted to put that Nate put us on, but I didn't want that jump cut to make it look weird. So I just covered that up with my B-roll.
Checked out. Nate put us on.
So it sounds like one nice cohesive thought.
I can't wait to put my hands on me. There's some pretty white tips.
Came all the way.
And you can see the color correction on this clip too. So here's a color correction before and after. So
There's some pretty white tips.
let's see what this one looks like before and after. I don't remember. Yeah, I just tried to bring down the highlights. That was a really tough shot.
Came
with that
all the
sun.
way in there and acted perfect, and then freaked out at the last minute. But he's a big old jumbo. What a pretty bird.
And these are all high-speed recreates after I got this talking. After I got this talking, I just went back and shot all these shots. So that's that's all there is to it. Tight shots of all the things. All the things people want to see, the beard, the spurs, the fan, and then get the talking, then the fist bumps, and the walk-off. So that shot right there tells me we're done. All I had to do was get him walking off, and I cover my footage with it.
Wings dragging coming through that broom sage.
That's all we got time for out here in Kansas. But listen, if you're looking for a place with a lot of Rios, hit my boy Chase up at QVO. Guarantee you won't be disappointed.
So that's about as quick and dirty as I can make it. I mean, we can get really deep in the weeds, but this is for us and for what we do. This is a really, really straightforward, simple edit. I shot all this, edited all this. I probably edited this show in, I don't know, a day or two. I don't really remember going back to last May or whatever it was. But yeah, so that's the quick and dirty of, kind of going through some of those highlights of, how we're doing certain things, how we get in and out of scenes, why we use shots the way that we use them, how we hide edits. There's not a single montage. There was not any voiceover. There was just transition shots and solid field production. Nothing special. There was nothing special about the field production of any of that. It was just getting the shots and taking the time to get them, and then guiding your host and whoever's on camera to do exactly what you need them to do to get the pieces to the puzzle. It's just pieces to the puzzle, and then you get here to editing, and you put all those things together and hopefully come out with a decent product. So, I feel like that's what we did, and that's what the final edit looks like. This was on Audio Go. It's been there since last summer, I guess, or last May. But yeah, I'll hang out for a few more minutes and answer any questions if anybody's got any, or if this is something that you enjoyed and you want us to break down some more edits and kind of go through those, or like really take the time to really, dial those in, we can do that too. If that's something that you enjoy doing or you enjoy watching, or if you took something away from it, let me know, because we've got hundreds and hundreds of these that we can set this same little scenario up and break them down. So, guys, like I said, this is absolutely not rocket science. There's nothing special, in my opinion, about what we're doing. It's just doing a good job in the field and making sure you have the pieces to that puzzle, and then just knowing the basics of how to do the edits, and knowing the program, and some of the fundamentals of hiding the edits, getting your B-roll, messing with time, all that good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's about all I got. I think we've been talking for 35 minutes, which is, I was thinking this would be about a 15, 20-minute deal, but I never get that right. So, how did it sound and look? So this is the first time we tested. I should have done some more testing before we did this, but I think it looks fine. Seems fine, at least. Everybody good? Yes? No? Give you all a few minutes to reply. Looks like we had quite more viewers than we normally have. Clay says it looks and sounds good. Clay, does it look like it, did it look like it was, sound like it was playing, like outputting the audio through through the computer, or was it actually like going through a microphone and picking it up? I don't. J Love Productions, I don't have much time today, but this is very helpful for me to see your process and some of the basics you go through. Would love to see more of this. Sweet. All right, well, that's what I want to hear, whether or not it's helpful or not, and if it's beneficial, because I want to get to where, if we get certain projects, we can literally turn this on and start editing, see what happens. I'd like to see y'all explain the seating for a night lapse. I missed that part of the class. The seating, I don't know what you mean by seating. Yes, sound was good. Yes, you can hear the audio very well. Good. What is this? I don't know what you're talking about seating, Ernie. Because I did an entire video on how to bring in a time lapse, which I can probably, settings. Oh, sounded good from here. Super informative, and I'd love to see more. I can see if I can find a time lapse real quick and bring one in. You want me to do that? It's not hard. Let me see if I can find one first. Clients, Hot Masters, raw footage, 2020. Let's see if there's any time lapses in here. Nope. Not this one. Client images edited. What's this? Okay, there's but those are all raws. I don't need a raw. I need those to be edited. I don't have those edited. Images original. Skit, no. I need an edited time lapse. Let me see if I've got one from Utah. Lapses. Night lapse 1. Okay. Edited wide lapse. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me see if I've got the other one. Day 1. That's mule deer. So this is night lapse 1. Night lapse 1 color. Okay, so here we go. On your settings I use on my camera. Well, I wish there was just one answer to that. It's it changes every night. Just depends on what your surroundings are. You want to get away from artificial lights and get to as dark of a place as you can. I was like, but generally it's between 15 and 30 second shutter speed. ISO is between 500 and 1000, and your f-stop's wide open generally. So that's a good base to start. But those things change all the time. I generally like to shoot longer exposures, so 25 to 30 seconds, and then I'll adjust my ISO and my f-stop depending on it. Usually my f-stop's always wide open. I usually don't ever change that. But ISO and shutter speed is really the only two things that I'm ever messing with, and it's usually between 20 and 30 seconds on the shutter speed. And then ISO, I just dial in your ISO to where it looks the best. And then Then I run it through Lightroom, export every one of those images, then bring it in Premiere. That's it. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm gonna call my wife and we're gonna go out to eat, and I'm gonna leave early today. Oh, and yeah, Ryer sucks. Ryer is on his way to Texas to watch Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan, like last minute. Literally got the call an hour ago, jumped in the truck and left. Can't blame him. I would have went too. Hey, Clay's leaving early too. Sweet. Anything else before I close this out? We'll give you like 2 more minutes and I'm leaving. Yeah, do that. Enjoy the weekend. And we'll see. I hope so. But yeah, this setup's pretty easy now that I got it set up. We can roll and do this anytime. All right, guys. Deuces.